Hello, everyone. I need to turn my video on. I think it's on actually. We're good there. Super good. Uh, Welcome. Welcome, everyone. You should be able to see my screen and hear me. Please give me some indication that you can, and that will be super. I've done this where I have gone halfway in and realized that people were not able to hear me and they could not see me. So a big welcome, Lee and Sheila and Sam, David, Swami Nathan, John. How you doing, man? Hello from Milwaukee. Super, Jeff. Cool. Toronto. Nice to have you guys. I'm super excited. Um, the topic is future-proof your accounting firm, thrive in changing times. And the reason I'm super excited is I'm going to share with you some revolutionary stuff. There's a few big ideas that I'm implementing for myself that I want to share with my inner circle. And I think you're going to get a lot from it. So you're in for a treat. Let's get started. Edna, are we ready to rock and roll? Edna's my assistant, so he'll be kind of busy in the chat room, interacting with you guys, making sure that your questions are being answered. And I encourage everyone to just kind of put your masks down. I'm going to put my mask down. I'm just going to be very transparent about what I'm doing, where I'm headed to, and how it can benefit you significantly for what I'm going to share with you. Everyone good with that? Kind of give me a yes, and everyone give me a yes if you're good with that, and we are going to rock and roll. All right, let's go. So the accounting industry has changed. This is no secret to anyone. Fee pressure, competition, demanding clients, staff shortages, regaining clients' trust after any errors made, work-life balance, technology adoption and innovation, managing cash flow and profitability. And so running an accounting firm, is owning an accounting firm getting any easier? Give me a yes or a no. Is owning an accounting firm getting any easier for you? I'm going to look at my chat and see where people are. Is it a yes or a no? Margaret, no. Don't know yet, says David. James, yes. Is owning it getting any easier? It's getting easier, you're saying. All right, cool. Not sure yet, just trying to set it up. So got a few people that are new to the profession, it seems, starting in your own practice. But I would love to hear from everyone. Is it getting easier or is it getting more difficult? No, it's not getting any easier, says Sam. John, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from Jeff. I want to hear from folks that have been in the profession for a number of years. Marcel saying, no, it's not getting any easier. And yeah, give me, I'm just going to give you guys a few more seconds because I'd love Sam saying not easy. I missed a few people that say, John saying not easy, Charles saying not easy, Jayendra saying, joined from India, cool. What do you mean by easier? Says John. Is it getting easier? Are things growing? Are they more profitable? Is it easier to run it from a time and energy standpoint, from an effort standpoint? That's kind of what I mean collectively. Or if it's getting any easier to run it. Cool. So there's two choices. And before we go into the two choices, Edna, is this the place where we want to play a very short video, and just it'll be a kind of an interesting video that we came across, and we wanted to play. So let's watch this. All right, cool. So Edna, let me know if I need to do anything, if I need to stop sharing my screen, or we are good with what you need to do to make sure it's set up and all that. Okay, let me stop share my screen, and Edna's going to play a short video for you. And really the question is, there's two options, right? if things are not getting any easier in the accounting, in the accounting firm, two options. But let's kind of watch this video and kind of love to get your thoughts. Which option you're gonna choose based on this video? Here it is. All right, he's got to take his bottom off. Acupuncture. Acupuncture session is on. Right, some disturbances outside. Smoke. Fire. This guy's out. He's out. Right, he escaped. What is this guy going to do? Needles everywhere. All right. So, which option? He's got two options here. One is, should he jump? Should he jump and save his life? And it's going to be painful. There's going to be some pain. There's fear, there's pain. Or should he stay in the building and die? So while I get set up with my PowerPoint slide, which option would you choose? Let's have some fun with it, guys. Two choices this guy had. Okay, PowerPoint's all set up. Cool. All right, let's see. Jump. Sam. Smart. Guys, let's have some fun. Would you jump, save your life, or would you die pretty much, right? Staying means dying in that fire. All right, good. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. If you haven't done it yet, you haven't typed something in, please do. So two choices. And when it comes to our accounting firm, and we've got two choices. One is a slow dwindle, continue running the practice like we have. Yes, small tweaks here and there, but for the most part, we continue running it the way we have. And the firm may face decline. I don't know in your situation, but overall, I mean, having talked to so many firm owners and seen their journeys and all that, most likely there's a good chance that the firm is going to decline in clients, or it's going to stay stagnant. It's not going to grow, and its relevance is going to get limited with time. And there's limited focus on innovation and adapting to industry changes. And that's an option. That's one option. The second option is strategic transformation for success. You embrace change and innovation. You proactively address challenges, reinvigorate firms' growth and sustainability. Yeah. And this is, for everyone that's here, I would say, I would vouch to say that you're in option 2. That's why you took me up on my invitation to be on this webinar. Is that true? Like, is that you're in option 2, not in option 1? Just give me a yes or a no, and either one's fine, by the way. Option 1 or option 2, that's kind of what I'm asking you guys to type in the chat panel, in the chat pane. Is it, are you in the option 1, status quo? I'll bring option 1 again. Or are you seeing yourself more on option 2? Which is right here. Quick one, guys. currently in option 1, Margaret says, hoping for option 2. Jessica, option 2. David, option 2. Cool, cool. Few more. Nancy saying, you're in status quo. Swami Nathan saying number 2. Sam saying number 2. Cool, bring it on, guys. Everyone, are you in option 1 or 2? There's no right or wrong. I'm not, I'm not being judgmental. Either one's fine. It's just being truthful to where you are. Chandeline saying 2. Charles saying 2. Awesome, great. And maybe a few of you are in 1, and every so often you're willing to dip your toes in option 2. So there is that as well, right? I understand that there is that as well. You're entrepreneurial minded, but you like the safety, and people don't like change, right? So you're more comfortable with the security of option 1 is if things are not super broken, right? And they're not super visibly broken, I'm going to stay in 1, but I'm going to keep an eye on 2 there. And that's fine. It's probably why you're here, is you're open to that. Hey, what's in option 2? And so this is what we're going to cover. How to get paid through consulting fees and equity in your clients' businesses with a new pricing model. This webinar is the first time ever that I'm sharing this from my own journey, where I'm going. Second is how to forge relationships with experts in complementary fields. I'll give you the big idea around it. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I'll give you the big idea of how powerful it is and how it ties into number 1. And then third bullet, AI, just some recent stuff we've done, which is pretty crazy good in using AI in my own firm. And then how to create a strategic succession plan to secure your future, taking care of you, your clients, and your team. Some of you guys are like looking at retirement in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. So that is going to be kind of very, you'll find that very relevant for yourself if you're kind of been thinking about it as well. All right, some new faces here. So I'm going to quickly go through this just so that you know who I am. A number of you do know me. We've been we've been in conferences and programs and so forth. So you kind of, we've met and so forth. And I'm grateful to be to have you in my inner circle. But very quickly about me, I own a lifestyle profitable 14% practice. It's called Straight Talk CPAs. It's 26 years in the making. Recently took it to making it all virtual. So now we've got a team that's all fully virtual, distributed around the world. And we've got clients that are distributed all around in the country. Most of last year, 7.5 months or so, I traveled the world. And that was in 2022. And my wife and myself, we traveled the world, and we did it in 2 parts. First one was a 5-month trip, like totally out in the wilderness for 5 months, and then came back for a month and a half or so. Came back, stayed in a beach condo in Jacksonville, Florida, or maybe 2 months, and then did our part 2. And there's going to be a part 3 that's going to come up, and I'll share with you why that's even possible, more possible now. And I've been working with firm owners for the last 12, 14 years through CPM Marketing Genius. So that's a little bit about me there. And World Tour took us to almost 20 different countries in the world. This is like some of the places we visited, the pins, but it's not fully updated. Oh, the top there, US, Portugal, Spain. Yeah, just so many different countries, but there's more, almost 20 that we did. And I just got lots of memories with my wife, saw some amazing places in the world, and I'm grateful for that. And when I returned, and this is kind of why I shared all this with you, because all the traveling gave me time to get out and just reflect. And I started asking some important questions. And the question I was asking is, like, I've created a successful firm. I've got a system. It's a lifestyle firm where I'm working part-time. Yeah, I've got a system where I'm bringing in high-value clients. What is next for me? I'm 58 years old in age. Like where do I want to go for the next 15 years, 20 years of my life, right? So what's next for me? How can I be more productive? How can I continue staying excited about my profession, my career, right? And I did what I've done, but now I'm ready for kind of the next level. How can I be more productive? How can I use my skills to do something that I enjoy while I 10x my ROI? So, right, some of the questions I started reflecting on, and the solution is here. Obtain an equity position in many businesses. And I would, and getting paid to vet deals that lead to income plus equity, because that, in my mind, is what leads to results in wealth. Every day, if we're doing stuff that's bringing in income and it's creating equity, we've got this whole equation works well, and it appealed to me. And I stumbled across this gentleman here. His name is Roland Frasier. Some of you guys may have heard him, know him, but he's not really out there in the limelight, even though he's like super popular. He's a co-owner, principal in 6 like Inc. magazine companies. Over the last 5 decades, he's done 1,000 plus deals in like all various industries you can imagine. He's got a current portfolio of there it is, 6 different Inc. magazine fastest growing companies: e-commerce, e-learning, real estate, SaaS. 38 companies. He's got an equity share in 38 companies with sales volume of 4.48 billion. And these are some of the names that he currently owns. And I just couldn't fit all of them on a slide. So, yeah. So I stumbled across Roland. Now, I'd met Roland 15 or so years back at a conference in San Diego. And I attended a few of these annual conferences by Ryan Deiss, digital and marketing conference, or digital summit, or something, digital and conversion summits. So I attended these huge mega conferences in San Diego, and Roland was somebody who was on the stage there. And I was always impressed by him. He's quiet, and I could kind of relate to him. He's not out there, and he's not like salesy kind of a guy. He was in the law profession. He was an attorney by education, but he had this mind for structuring deals and building wealth through equity, through ownership in other businesses. So I came across Roland fairly recently, and I was like, man, this guy, he's the guy. I want to connect with him. I want him to mentor me. And so he is. And I'm really, really excited about that. And this is why consulting for equity appealed to me as a CPA firm owner. I'm going to share with you a few things here. Number one, it allows me to leverage my network and relationships. And I feel a CPA firm owner is the best person on the planet with our relationships and the network and the trust. And the trust we have built over the years doing what we do. That cannot be discounted, folks. That is the real value in what you've done. Over these years, this is the real value that you've really created, and we don't even realize it. And I didn't realize it, and I now kind of become even more conscious about it, right? So it allows me to leverage my network and relationships. I can use my financial skills and knowledge in businesses, working with different businesses in different industries to help companies grow and then get ownership in the process. Now, I can be anywhere in the world, so it works perfectly well for me because I want to do a part 3, in my world tour. So if you do want to travel, you can do this. You can continue doing that from anywhere in the world. It's got unlimited upside. And I'll give you an example of a deal I did that you'll kind of see the numbers. And you get paid to vet deals with paid half-day consults. You consult once and you get paid forever. Unlike the traditional consulting, you're like, okay, I'm going to consult with you and then it's goodbye, or I'll call you when I need you kind of a thing from the client. Here, we get paid forever. Yeah. Is everybody with me? Is this sounding, is this making sense to you so far? And this is how you get the consulting income. Your fee, whatever fee you charge to the client, you got to bring in 10x, a 10x value that you give to the client from that consultation. So if you want to charge a very low fee for a 2-hour consult or a 4-hour consult or 500, it's a half a day consult. So let's say it's 4 hours, and you want to give a 10x value, you got to bring $5,000, right? 500 times 10 is 5,000. You got to give the client you're consulting with value of $5,000. Now, if you want to charge $2,000 and 10x that, so 10 times 2,000 is $20,000. You can give your client $20,000 of value. And I'll give you some examples of how we can bring a lot of value to the clients we consult with, because we've got an amazing skills, amazing experience, background, knowledge, being in the profession we are, that we can. 10 consults per month, $20,000 plus you're earning equity, right? The accounting industry has changed early on. Yeah, I shared that with you. You know that. You've seen that. You're reading about it. You're watching other webinars, trainings, and it's kind of all around you. The role of the CPA has changed in the last decade. Do-it-yourself software, low-cost providers, they've driven the fee low for compliance work. There's no money with compliance work. And with what I'm sharing here with consulting for equity, where you become a part owner, you get equity in a business, you utilize your skills and your vast experience to get additional consulting income. That's additional supplemental income. Run your business as you are, your practice. This is additional supplemental income that you're doing, plus you're building wealth. Okay, I want to talk about the positioning, the mental positioning that you wanna have when it comes to this. So you're either the genius or the help. You want to be the genius. You're the mentor, not a consultant. So you become their mentor. You're a profit center, not a cost. You have the connections and solutions your clients need. So you start getting paid like a genius. And that's the mindset, yeah? The way you want to position yourself is that you're a mentor. So start changing your social media profile, your LinkedIn profile, where you're a mentor, you're an investor, rather than you're a CPA consultant or a business advisor or a CFO, right? You kind of change, you switch to becoming a mentor and an investor. So 3 different types of deal structures, consulting for equity, right? And I'll share with you which one I got into recently and what it means for me. And that's going to be a start to many more. Deal type number 1, you earn into equity. Face there is coming in the way. All right. So deal type number 1, you earn into equity as an advisor or strategist. So these are VC, venture capital funded companies. You get a quarter to 25%. Yeah, you're their advisor, you're a strategist, and you get a small fraction percentage of that company. Second type of a deal is an operating deal, where you bring your skills as a financial guy, a CFO, growth genius, profitability, etc. And you earn an equity as an operations mentor for fixed or performance-based 5 to 75%. Right? So there's certain milestones, and you get equity once the company reaches that certain milestones, whatever those may be, understood, in advance what those are, and you start getting equity there. And then deal type number 3 is a transactional deal. You earn equity with a one-time event like an acquisition. So this business, you help them acquire a company or several companies, and with each acquisition, you get equity, or it's an exit that you get. You help them prepare for that exit, and so that's why it's a transactional deal, right? You help them prepare for that exit. On the exit of that business, you're an equity. You have the equity as well, and you have a rich payday. Or help them get funding, right? All different examples where you can be a transaction facilitator and get 1 to 20% of the business. All right, so I'm going to share with you, one that I came into, kind of by, I wasn't as intentional about it as I am now and going forward, right? So I'm really learning from the master with Roland Frazier, the guy I shared with you. But here's one that I stumbled across, and that's why I kind of know the power of this. And you'll probably make that same conclusion here. So in January 2022, so last year, I got a 3% equity in this company called Targa Tech, and you can check it out, targatech.ai. I became a strategic advisor. When you go on that, you'll see me, I'm on the board of directors. On the website, I think it's in the About Us, maybe right there in the nav bar on the top of the picture. There's there's a board of directors, board of advisors, and so forth. So I became a strategic advisor. And so here's what my time commitment is for this organization. For myself, right? We do a Zoom call once a month for 90 minutes, right? We help them with their accounting and tax financial stuff. We charge, it's at cost. So we don't, make a profit, and I'm fine with that. We would probably charge, my fees is about $10,000 or $12,000. That's probably what we charge. So we charge them $6,000 a year for accounting and tax services. And I'm fine with that because I got a 3% equity in this company, and its current company valuation is $10 million. So 3% is $300,000. And the exit is, we're planning an exit within 5 years. And the valuation is going up every moment. It's partnered, this company, we've partnered with Amazon, AWS, Guidescent, Allen, and several others that some really big players. So it's really becoming, it's really growing in value, and we're planning an exit of 100 million in 5 years. So it's going to be a very rich exit from this $3 million exit from this one situation here, this one client, or one investment, equity investment, consulting for equity, right? So there are many others. Yeah, there can be many others from the network that you have. So it's a 5-step plan. Number one is you position yourself as a mentor, plus protect against personal liability. So put it out there. Yeah, start really kind of becoming in your mind saying, yeah, you're a mentor, you're an investor, and so you position yourself that from that standpoint, and then you start sourcing consulting gigs. You monetize yours and others' geniuses. I'll talk about that in just a moment. Get paid to provide transformational value, plus create recurring revenues, and you build generational wealth with equity. So this is really creating wealth that goes beyond you, that goes to your children, to your grandchildren. I mean, I'm talking about that type of wealth. And I believe we are all positioned to tap into that. We are, I believe, the best because of our experience, our backgrounds, the trust we have, how we are seen in the marketplace. We are in the best place to really now tap into that. So whatever you've built, gone through struggles and ups and downs, you're in a certain place where you can now really 10x that. Sourcing deals. What can you consult on? So many different areas: profit maximization, M&A, risk management, cash flow management, IT and technology integration, depending on your background. I mean, there's folks from different, they've got different experiences and backgrounds. Real estate, property investment, strategy, operations, leadership, innovation, funding, finance, and the list goes on, right? So these are different areas that, finance, of course, funding, how to, build an exit strategy, different kinds of things that, different kinds of areas that you can be the expert on and do that. And your positioning is that every decision the business makes impacts their finances, right? Anything and everything a business is going to do, it's going to affect their financial statements. It's going to affect their their P&L. It's going to affect the balance sheet. So you advise them before they execute, they execute this. My situation, the client I just mentioned to you, right? We're looking at Section Targetech, the company that I own 3% equity in now since last year. Section 1202, does that make sense for them? What are the rules, right? I'm in a position with my team as well, right? This is some stuff that I lean on my team as well of, experts. I've got that right within my firm. But even if I didn't, I'll tell you how we can tap into that. And we were able to advise this client and the shareholders that this is what Section 1202 is. There's like 8 or 9 requirements that he needs to fulfill and so forth. So before they do anything, my firm, myself, I'm able to help them from a financial and tax expert, a strategic advisor. That's my role. Number 2 is find the biggest profit opportunities in their business. And there are many. There are many opportunities for businesses, over like 100 different types of things one can look at to see, hey, are there ways? What are the ways we can optimize the profits of that business? And we deliver needle-moving results to be able to charge high fees and get equity, right? So that's the positioning we deliver. You want to have. How to deliver results. This is really important. It's combining your skills with the skills of others. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to know everything around it. You've got certain skills you bring to the table, and you combine them through the magic of genius arbitrage. Yeah. Other people sell their genius for pennies to the dollar. Like what I mean by that is you can buy a consultant. You can get an expert in any area, any one of these areas. I'm going to go to the previous slide. Right? Any of these areas, you can buy help. You can buy consulting help, and you can get the best of the best in the world for pennies to the dollar, right? You don't have to be an expert on government contracts and grants, for example. I'm not. No clue. That's not been my expertise. I bring my expertise, but if I was in a situation where I'm, meeting with the company, I'm talking to them, and there is an opportunity there with government contracts and grants, I am going to find an expert that I can bring into the mix. And with my network, with relationships, and with my resources, anyone can do that. So I'm just going to proceed on to the next couple of slides there. So other people sell their genius for pennies to the dollar. So you buy other people's genius and you arbitrage it for consulting gigs, right? So we need somebody who is an expert on government grants, as an example. 500, and they're the best. So they charge, say, $500 an hour, or they charge $750 an hour, and we need 2 hours of their time. So that becomes part of the mix. Yeah, your consulting arrangement is a certain dollar amount, and you need to bring that expert in. You can, right? You can. And there are many different places to find these experts. I mean, LinkedIn is definitely one of them. And I didn't even put it here, but there's like sites where you can really search, and find experts that you can do, get the genius that, from them. Top 3 areas to consult, obvious ones for us. Profit maximization. That's a hot one. People, businesses, they want to maximize their profits. We can come in and help them with that, with how tuned in we are with financials and what we see there, looking at trends, looking at history, comparing it to, to other businesses, and so forth. We can do that, getting them exit ready or funding for expansion. So those are the 3 top consults, but there's many more. And businesses would be willing, when wanting to get an expert who can help them. It's a half-day consult, so it starts there. Great opportunity for you to vet them if they're right for you, present to them how you can continue helping them, right? And essentially, you're vetting the deal, and you're seeing, is this going to be the right fit? Is that somebody, a company you want to become, you want to have an equity share in? Good. Any questions from what I've shared so far? And you guys may have seen an email or so. I'm starting a 6-week training program next week. It's with me personally, leading the way. It's to transform your CPF firm. It's to help you create wealth with what we are talking about here. I'm going to go much more detailed, deeper. I'm going to share with you the resources, the templates that I've started to develop for myself. I'm going to kind of be open book to you guys through that. And it could be that, if you're up for that, we may even partner on some deals together. So it's, my genius, your genius, and start really creating that type of collaboration. Yeah. And acquire companies together. So if that's something, that's for you, towards the end, we'll share a link. It's got some bonuses and so forth. So we'll do that. Actually, Edna, you can even put the link in the chat. That's even better. So that that will work. David's got a question. I've gone out of pocket to invest in clients. Did propose an equity deal with one client, but it didn't work. I think because I didn't discount the fees enough. I think the key is to participate in the risk taken by the client. I think that's what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, that's a loaded question. It's doing it in the right way, so that you're protected as well, right? So it's you've got the you want to have the agreement written, created, so that you don't have personal liability, right? And that's good news that you've kind of got you've started moving and thinking like that, David. That's great. And you don't need to discount the fees, because that's they're right or they're not right. If they don't say yes to the fees, then that's the conversation kind of ends there, because you can't that's the real value. It starts with that value that you give them in that consult, right? Half-a-day consult. If they're not right for them, and every company you'll approach is not going to be right for it, but there will be many that will be. There will be some, rather. Yeah, most of them won't, but there will be some that will be right for it. And we're talking about, we don't need that many as well, right? And as you start doing this, you do 1, you do 2, you do 3, and you start seeing the pattern, and you get better at it. You start, begin to have better, good at the conversation, having this conversation with having this, this conversation with your business deals, with your clients, prospects, and so forth. Good. Any other questions? Feel free to ask, to jump in, use the chat pane to do that. Hopefully this makes sense. What are you thinking? What are you guys thinking? Is it making sense? Is this something you have thought about? Is this something that is resonating with you? Kind of feel free to share that. Cool. Let's move on. I want to talk about succession plan. Why do it? So there are three constituencies that matter. One is us, for owners, meaning you, meaning me, for my firm. We want to have a secure retirement, and we want to have we want to be financially well off, right? We want to go through, in retirement. So we got to do stuff to make sure that we are, and we want to have the peace of mind knowing that this firm is going to continue, that the legacy lives on, right? So for you, like, that's what's important for you. That's what's important for me as a firm owner. For our clients, as a firm owner, we want to make sure that there's uninterrupted service, the relationship continues, and clients trust in our firm's long-term commitment. They're like, yeah, I see, George is getting old, and I don't know what's going to happen once he retires. So we don't want the clients to feel that, or wonder what he's going to do. He's going to sell the firm to somebody, and is that when I'm going to wait away or whatever, right? So we want to continue the relationship that we've built, and the trust we've built with our client for so many years. So we want to take care of our clients, and then our team. Yeah, we want to have this clear pathway and growth opportunities for our team, so they're not afraid. Like, yeah, George is getting old. I don't know what's going to happen. He's getting, I see him slowing down, and the comments he's making about this or that. He's getting fed up, or he's ready to go in a year, 2 years, 3 years. All right, and these three constituencies are super important. Every firm owner, and this is, I love our profession and the people that are in it. They're really good people. Accountants are very, very good people. They're not shysters by any imagination of the word. They're just bloody good people. They care for themselves. They want to take care of themselves. They want to take care of their family, grandchildren, and so forth. So, we want to do that. We're very client-centric. We don't want to hurt them in any way. So we want to take care of our clients, and then we want to take care of our team. So now I want to, kind of the big picture with succession planning is we want to have a plan that takes care of all these three areas. Now I want to talk about, for you, a couple of quotes. One from the Social Security Administration saying, those retiring at age 65 or greater have an 11 percentage point greater probability of surviving to age 80 than those retiring at exactly age 62. Now, they may want people to go longer, right? There may be, they may have, a bias that they want, folks to kind of retire later. But so this was one. The other one was the Harvard Business Review is likely to live longer if you retire after 65, right? And I don't know, how much, I'll talk about myself. I'm 58, and feel free to kind of add your thoughts, right? I'm just kind of sharing from my conversations with firm owners over the last 5-7 years, especially on this, as I see it's an aging community. CPAs are, they're aging. And how much TV can I watch? I did the world tour. I was able to work while I was, doing the world tour. So I had my laptop. So I was, being productive as well, all through that process. What would I do when I retire? What would you do when you retire and you have you're healthy, you've got you're physically healthy, you're mentally healthy, you've got the energy. Retire and do what? Yeah. What would one do when you retire? Yeah. What would one do when they retire? And I'll tell you kind of where my own thinking is, and do what's right for you, obviously, but I wanted to be very transparent with you, in this session. And since I came back from my world tour earlier this year, this is where I'm going for the next 15, 20 years. Straight Talk CPAs, that's my CPA firm. I want to serve as CEO, chairman of my firm. I want to continue building the team. I want to develop a successor, one or two. I want to continue building strong systems to attract private equity firms. So I want to be very attractive to them. And I want to continue working part-time, 5 to 8 hours per week. It's about right for me in my own CPA firm. CPA Marketing Genius, I want to do more of consult for equity with CPA firms. So really start working with CPA firms and start working on their firm together, partnership. And businesses across many different industries. And I want to spend about 20 hours per week with that. And I want to build equity in a handful of companies. So that's kind of my succession plan. I started accidentally last year in January with targattech.ai. And it's been great. I couldn't have asked for anything better. We just had the CEO and his wife over for dinner and enjoyed an amazing evening together. So just build a very good relationship from there. And it's been very, financially, it's been amazing from, where, what I've already got in the company and where it's going to go. And I just see the opportunity. So I've teamed up with Roland Frazier, the person who's done 1,000+ deals. And folks, this is one of my personal things that I have always, I feel thankfully kind of realized early on is I don't like to reinvent stuff. I refrain from that. So I'm really very tuned in to find people that are the best. And so once I did this deal with, Targattech, I was like, man, who can teach me this stuff? Like, I want to do more of this, right? I want to get like 30, 50, $100 million of wealth through acquiring other companies, not 100% acquiring, but becoming an equity owner. And Roland was somebody I'd met and I stumbled across him. It's just like, once we have it in the mind, right, we start finding those opportunities. Like if you wanted to buy a Honda or a BM or an Audi, like you're doing the research, you end up, buying it. And then what happens for the next few months or something? Every Audi, and I did that last year. I bought an Audi. I would just see Audis everywhere on the streets, right? It's the same thing here, right? So you're kind of subconsciously looking for that and like, man, he's the guy. He's done 1,000 deals over 5 decades. I want to learn from the master. He's done it himself. He's been teaching it to others. I reached out to him, his mentor, becoming his mentor, had a good conversation, and I'm in. And I was like, all right, this is amazing. And it's like, how can I share this with my inner circle? Because I feel as CPAs, we're in that position to do that. So this is my succession plan, folks, that I'm just sharing with you here, going forward. And kind of, for you, you've got to, see what's right for you, and where do you want to be. It's a couple of questions that I see here. Is everybody getting good value from this so far? Let me look at the questions that have come up. Yeah, Swami, thank you for that feedback. Lee saying, I thought about it. What level of current revenue is needed for a CPA firm to be a good candidate for your new program? Lee, you're talking about the 6-week program. There's no requirement in revenues. It's any one. It's startups to folks that are established. But I have 2 weeks is where I'm really going to go deeper into consulting for equity, right? I'm going to do a full deep dive and share with you the resources that I've already started putting together, and just this whole process, and just make you aware of it and start having these conversations of looking at your clients' opportunities and all that. Really train you from a scripting standpoint, how to talk about consulting for equity and the whole thing. So want to bring that to you guys so that you're equipped. Some of you will say, Salim, I've got these opportunities. Can we partner on this together with one of your clients or so? So I'm open to having those conversations with you as well. No need for anyone. Right? It's the genius arbitrage, right? So we can kind of work together and grow together, benefit together. Lee saying yes. David, thumbs up. Marcel, thumbs up. Awesome. Great. Good stuff. Cool. All right. Any questions? Anything else? Anyone has any other questions? Well, I guess one more slide on succession planning, and then I'm going to kind of do a change and I'll talk about AI. And then I'll go a little bit about the 6-week program, exactly what it is. So let's spend a few minutes there. So when it comes to your succession plan, you've got 3 options, really. Do nothing about it. Continue working in the practice till you're not able to. At that point, you sell it for whatever you can get for it. Now, folks, you will be surprised at there are a good number of people that are in that option 1 category. And they're just sitting on it and they want to die on their desk kind of mentality. I'm going to just continue working and do tax returns and all that. And I'm not here to be judgmental. I said that. It's what's right for you. I just want to share with you what are the options so that you become clear where you want to, what's right for you and where you want to go. So option 1 is that. Option 2 is fix up your firm, whatever that looks like, right? Make it attractive, sellable, whatever your time frame is. Maybe it's 3 years, maybe it's 5 years, maybe it's 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever that is. And most firms sell for 1 to 1.2 times revenues. Yeah. Work with a broker. They'll kind of get you connected with, their, folks. They'll put it out there. They have a list of buyers and, and that, right? So that's option 2. A good number of people opt for option 2 as well, right? Nothing wrong with that. I'm not being judgmental. And then option 3 is you build your firm with systems and a team to make it less owner dependent. You install a marketing system that attracts high value clients and you make it a part-time role, right? You climb your way to becoming the chairperson of your firm, the CEO chairperson. You're not involved in the day-to-day running. And I'm being generous when I say 10 to 15 hours per week. If you do that, it can be a 5 to 8 hour week as it has been for me, right? 5 to 8 hours is about what I will spend on my firm, Straight Talk CPAs. And then you transition towards spending time with consulting for equity, right? You bring your genius, all these years of expertise and insights and observations and knowledge, and you start selectively working with a certain number of clients and having those conversations and start moving in that role. And as I said, if you're doing, and I gave the example, I think, of generating, say, $20,000 in consulting income a month, right? But whatever that amount is, maybe it's just a few a month, and maybe it's like $5,000 or $10,000 of consulting income, right? So you start moving in that direction, and the more you'll do it, the better you'll get at it. I've got all the frameworks. I'm all loaded up there, in terms of frameworks and questions to ask and all that. So you just kind of use that and lead the client through that process, which is super useful for the client. And so you do that, consulting for equity. So that's option number 3. You've got kind of 3 options, and that can be your succession plan. Do nothing about it, number 1. This webinar ends, and you're like, all right, let me just go back to doing what I was doing before the webinar or the call, right? Back to doing tax returns and answering questions from clients and all that. Or number 2 is like, all right, made some sense. This was good. I need to kind of find some ways of, find a way of seeing what improvements I need to make. And then 5 years, I'm out of here, right? It's been a career that's been ups and downs. Like, so that's option 2. And option 3 is like, wow, this is, I see kind of where this is going and what this can do for me. And this is really exciting. I'm really ready for this. Yeah, all these years of experience and all that, I can really now make a difference in this way for clients, their businesses. And through that process, make a difference for my team as well. And then for my own family through intergenerational wealth. So like, that's kind of, the 3 options there with succession planning. Any questions, anything here on the topic of succession planning? Feel free to send it over. What option are you? What option? I'm curious. I couldn't hold myself from asking. Which option are you in? 1, 2, and 3. Where do you see yourself? No right or wrong, guys. And all works for me. Some 3s. Lee 1 and going into 3. Jetya saying 2. Awesome. Swaminathan says 3, the way to go. Cool. What about the rest of you? Come on, guys, gals. Marcel, number 3, no doubt. Which one feels right for you? Which one's closer to your heart and head? Always good to make decisions based on heart and head. Just not head, just not heart. The combination of the 2 is the best. All right, while you guys do that, I'm going to transition and talk about the third area that I wanted to talk about is AI. Yeah. And I've got a few slides on it, and I'm just going to share with you some of the latest stuff that we're doing, in terms of AI. But AI is, it's a way to save time, right? It's great for ideas. So if you're looking to get ideas on something, it's a great tool. ChatGPT uses open source AI. So it's great for that. It's great for summarization. Yeah. You put in something and say, can I get a summarized paragraph on that? That's amazing. It does good stuff there. Content creation, it's amazing there for what it can do. You can put one piece of content and it can give you just different way, creating content in different forms. So it's amazing there. It analyzes your text so you can feed in like this, whatever piece of text, paragraph or page or 3 pages and say, all right, give me a summary. What are the 5 big points that I should walk away from this whole thing, right? It's going to do that. And then data analysis. Yeah. Feed in a profit and loss statement and ask, what are the, I'm meeting with a client, what are the 5 things I should talk about? And it's going to do that for you, right? So it's saving you a tremendous amount of time, because otherwise you're like, you got to do a lot of work, right? So it's got the power to do that. So recently, I was going to meet with an animal hospital. Yeah, had a meeting with an animal hospital. So I was like, all right. I don't remember working with one in the recent future or in the recent past. A vet clinic, very successful, 1.8 million in revenues. But so I said, all right, ChatGPT, I need your help. I'm pressed for time. I need to get ready for this meeting. And this is basically what I typed in, exact words. I have a sales meeting with a prospect to discuss their accounting and tax service needs. The business is a vet animal hospital. What questions should I ask during the meeting? And it gave me 11 things what I should ask from start to end. And within a minute, I was, it gave me that. And then the second thing I said is, I wonder what challenges are being faced by people in that industry, right? So that's exactly what I typed in. What are the current top challenges being faced by businesses in this industry category? And it gave me about 12 different challenges that I would not have thought of, but it's right there for me. So I'm meeting with this prospect on a Zoom call, like it's all right there. This whole thing took me like a minute and a half at best, right? So this is like one power of it, right? Ideas, getting ideas of what to do, what to talk about. It does an amazing job of that. So I wanted to kind of, share that. And then second thing, this is just this week, and Edner, he's a teammate that's on the webinar here. Something that he works quite a bit with is, I have podcasts. I've got 3 different companies that I'm doing a podcast for. And so there's a lot of like content being generated. In each podcast, there is content and there's stuff that needs to happen, chain of events that need to take place from each episode. So here are the 9 steps. And I'm just quickly going to go through this to share with you the power, how powerful this is. And this is like a time saving of 7 hours minimum. So Salim records a podcast, which is saved as an MP3 file. And Edmund uploads the MP3 file to Google Drive and obtains a shareable link. This link is saved into Airtable. The admin activates the automation by pressing a button in Airtable. This action, step 5, folks, number 5, step 5, this action sends a signal to a server on Google Cloud. And then number 6, the server runs a script that retrieves the MP3 file using the provided link. MP3 file is then sent to Whisper for transcription, all automated. This transcription is then processed by ChatGPT to generate various content pieces like YouTube, video titles, descriptions, tags, social media tags, posts, and blog content. These generated content pieces are automatically saved back into specified fields in Airtable for easy access and storage. So something that would typically take 7 hours of time, like front to end, the whole thing, takes like less than 15 minutes, right? And this is the power of like automation that we have. And in my firm, like my team is doing now, looking at all aspects of it, right? Just all across the board. Like if we can get this level of automation, it makes it just so much more productive, more efficient. And so we can, stay competitive on the compliance side because of all this automation and technology that's in place. Customer experience enhances, right? We stay competitive on the compliance side. And then we get into the consulting for equity, right? So the firm continues to operate successfully, profitably, team growing, building systems, automation, technology, using technology in all the right ways to keep to continually be profitable, run profitably, and continue developing additional profit centers, like what I shared with you earlier on. I think I shared this with you. Maybe I did not. So data analysis, feed in a comparative P&L, get a summary of key points. And then what you're sharing with the client is not only the profit and loss statement, but a summary of the key points, right? So it enhances the client experience just from that standpoint in itself. Cool. This is, folks, what we covered so far. How to get paid through consulting fees and equity in your client's business with a new pricing model. How to forge strong relationships. This was the Genius Arbitrage with experts in complementary fields, allowing you to offer comprehensive solutions to your clients. Feel like you're in the best place as a financial quarterback to tap into the geniuses around you. And there are many around you that you can do that. How to leverage AI-powered tools for heightened productivity and team savings. And then we talked about 3 options when it came to strategic plan. Number 1 is not do anything about it. That's option 1. Option 2 is fix a few things and then just kind of keep doing what you're doing with the fixing a few things and then sell in a 3 years, 5 years, whatever it is, for a multiple of 1, 1.2. But the third option is really grow it, develop it, make it less owner dependent, channel your energy and attention to tapping into your genius and get excited about your firm through that process and build generational wealth through that. All right. So yeah, let me spend a few minutes, folks, on the 6-week training program. It's with me. You get me here over 6 weeks. And we're going to be doing 2 things. One is we're going to transform your CPA firm, right? Looking at it from a team, developing the team, the systems, attracting high-value clients. And then second is we're going to look into creating wealth through equity in other businesses, right? It's called the CPA Firm Growth Accelerator. It's to equip you with the changing times. Yeah, what worked in the past is not what's going to be the future. And in 6 weeks, over 6 weeks personal coaching, I'm going to kind of help you with the transforming your firm and creating consulting for equity. So here's how this is going to roll out. Week 1, client connections, unique strategies to build long-lasting client relationships. Week 2, advisory mastery. This is consulting, building wealth with consulting for equity. Because I've got so much, it's going to go over 2 weeks. It's going to be week 2, and you'll see that it's week 6 as well. So I'm going to do a very deep dive into this particular aspect of it. Now, week 3 is efficiency, alchemy, optimizing operations for stress-free growth and delivery. Week 4 is staff supercharge, attracting, hiring, and retaining top talent. And then number 5 is digital transformation, harnessing technology for CPA firms. So 6 weeks starting next week, we're going to covering different aspects of this, of what I just shared here. There's 2 mastermind live discussions as well. One is Legacy Builders, Mastering Succession Planning for CPA Firms. So I'll do a deeper dive into that in one session. And then second is for women-owned CPA firms, inviting a few women, CPA firms that are run by women. What are they doing? How are they positioning themselves? What's different, unique, and how they're positioning themselves? So you're going to learn from myself. I'll be there facilitating that. And so if you're a woman-owned CPA, or an EA, this is going to be a session that you definitely want to attend. Although men are invited as well. 2 bonuses: going virtual, blueprint for a successful transition. So I'll be sharing that as a bonus as well, because we just took my firm a couple months back, May. In May, we took it fully virtual. It's been amazing. It was very smooth. What did we do that went well for us? What mistakes did we make sure we didn't make? So that's going to be something you get, and then supercharge your success with a personalized one-on-one session there. And so that's what it is. It's a small investment of $997 or 3 payments of $397. Start next week, and that's the link there for you to enroll in it. And really, something that cannot be underestimated is once you become part of this, we start working together, right? You have me on your team, and there are opportunities within your relationships, within your network, certain expertise that I bring to the table, clearly certain expertise that you bring to the table. So we start collaborating and finding those opportunities. So your investment of $997, I mean, if you don't make like a minimum of 10x that, but more like 100x that, I won't be happy if you don't do that. So, this is going to be massively looking at like a few $1 million of, an ROI that I want you to kind of start making, even if you're a startup. I mean, because now your mind's going to be open, you're kind of going to be thinking about which ones are going to be the right kind of situations where you provide consulting for equity, like the situation that I shared with you with my with the business target tech that I came across. But there's more, right? There's so many more. There's so many businesses in that range, that want to grow and they want to become profitable, and they're trying to, they're struggling, and we can be that resource, and we can structure it in the right way. This would be something that they would be very amicable to. Yeah, they would be very amicable to. So that's I think that was that. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this, and don't want to do much into testimonials or anything of that sort, but I mean, I've been in this profession, mentoring, running conferences, coaching programs, different types of programs over the last 14 years. So I've got a whole book of folks that have benefited from it. I'm not new to the profession by any stretch of the imagination. And when I work with folks, I've been open book with you here, and it continues, right? Over 6 weeks, it continues, and it may continue even longer than that. So if you were in that option 3 category where you've been at it, and you want to exit out in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you're like, okay, this is an opportunity to team up with Salim, learn from him, get all the resources, and then just kind of, stay connected so that we can create wealth even together as a team. Open to any questions anyone has on anything we talked about. Edner, when are the classes? I think they are on, I don't even remember. Edner, if you can look at the webpage, we have it on the landing page. Either on a Tuesday or a Thursday. And by the way, Charles, all these sessions are going to be recorded. So you'll have the full, complete recording. We're developing a membership site. So all that's going to be very accessible to you, including all the resources, the templates, the scripts. I'm like rehauling my practice, and with the transformation that I'm doing in my own practice with AI and systems and all that. So you'll get the latest, all the most updated stuff there, plus all the consulting for equity stuff that I'm developing for my own deals. I'm going to be sharing all that in that portal as well. So yeah, every Tuesday at 1 p.m. East Coast time. But if you cannot make a session or two, don't hold that, don't let that get in the way. I mean, I hope you'll try and, reschedule things as much as possible, like I do when I'm, in a mentorship program. And if you absolutely cannot, then, there's something like pre-schedule a long-term, like doctor's appointment or something that you just absolutely cannot move because, you'll miss that meeting or that appointment. If it's a client meeting, I'd move it. Because this, for me, when I'm involved in enrolling in a program, like that's by far the most important thing that's in my world at that time, that I want to give it every opportunity for success, and I go kind of full in. So yeah, great point there, Edna. In terms of recording, it's going to be a portal. You'll have we'll give you the access to that. Super. This has been amazing, folks. I hope, I hope you guys all kind of like, we're all part of this journey together, I hope, going forward, because I'm like excited. We really work on building something together. And if I can play that role and that significance in your life and in your practice, I mean, I don't know if there's anything more that I want in this world than that. Is, help your clients through this process, get you equipped, get you ready and equipped to have these conversations, identify opportunities with you. I think there's some real stuff here. And we're talking about some big numbers. Financially, it's some big numbers. Impact-wise, it's some big, you're going to make a big difference for your clients. And I think it's like it's the ultimate side hustle, number one. And it's the ultimate way to collaborate and work, in that meaningful way, right? So it goes beyond that compliance, doing that compliance stuff. It's now really making a difference for our clients and making a difference for them, their businesses, and all the people that they impact, right? All the people that they impact, their own families, their own clients, their own employees, like kind of when we talk about succession planning, right? Your clients, they've got a succession plan. So this is the type of impact, long-lasting impact that this can have. Good. If you guys have any questions that you didn't think about, what I'm going to do is put my email address here. I want this to be right for you. And if you're not sure, you want to ask me a question, please do that. Putting in my personal email address. Actually, Edna, if you don't mind, if you can type that in and give folks my Salim at CPA Marketing Genius email address, that'd be great. So folks, will just give Edna a moment to type that in. So you have my email address. If you need to ask me a question, there it is. You're not sure about it, but if you are, simply enroll in. It's a small investment for the return. I'll make sure you get your return times minimum 10, more like 100. So this is for the long game, not here for the short game. Cool. Anything else, folks, before we finish off? You guys have been amazing. You asked really good questions. So it's a serious group of folks that are more of you are in that option 3 category. And if you are in that option 3 category, I hope our journey continues. Super. Fantastic. Let's finish off here. Looking forward to interacting with you. For those of you who have joined the program, and I see a few already have, because I get pinged when somebody does. So I see a few people, and I know some of you are kind of in that process. You're welcome, Lee. Folks, have a great day, and see you guys soon. Bye.